thank you.
Vilken var från radiotjänsten?
I have a friend who's on the radio. Maybe I should talk to him.
You're live, sir.
All right, we're live. Good to see you. It's nice to have a Wednesday practice when this is probably the first time that the sky is actually blue, like really like light blue. We had to pull this, but we can maybe open them up a little bit later. It's very beautiful to get to practice in the beginning of the sunset. It's going to be very beautiful. We have only natural light here now, except for that. It's mostly bothering me, I think. Oh my, it's so nice. I have been in yoga studios that are empty, almost empty. Some of them have been full, and we've been, the mats are almost touching, so sweaty, so many people, and to come here and be like in a fuller studio now. It's very, very nice. I think I didn't take out so many gadgets and things today. A couple of blocks. Perhaps if you want to go a little deeper in both forward fold and a little bit light back bendy stuff, we can use a strap if you want them. If you have sensitive knees, you can put the mat double folded. You can put a cushion under. We even have knee pads here in the studio. If you're at home, grab a cushion from the sofa and your bath, what's it called, the belt for the bathrobe, and get yourself in a comfortable seated position. For me, this is comfortable enough. Cross-legged. Oh, thank you. It is pollen season, and I get a little bit dry throat. If you do too, don't worry about it. If you do feel like it's hard to breathe through the nostrils all the time, feel free to cheat. It's supposed to be a feeling of freedom today, because in our physical practice today, I was going to focus a lot on openness and kind of stretchy but flowy sequences. While we're sitting now in a comfortable position, you can allow yourself to take a deep breath, place your hands onto your kneecaps or in your lap, and just draw in a long one, and then exhale, drop the shoulders down. And allow that to naturally rest your eyes into a peaceful position where you're not shutting the eyes together. We're just letting them rest. Maybe there's a little stream of light coming through, and you're enjoying kind of feeling your face softening from all the little muscles around the eyes and between the eyebrows and the forehead. When we draw in and expel a couple of breaths, feel how the face softens breath by breath. And as the sun is shining its beautiful stray light onto your face, it's like the whole body is smiling. And we can keep exploring downwards in the body, allowing breath by breath to relax. Elbows and hands can feel kind of heavy, shoulders as well. There's a lightness in your heart, and your heart can kind of come forward a little bit. If you want to, in this position, you can rest your hands open with the palm facing up and allow yourself to feel like I'm pushing the chest a tiny bit forward, while as there's a little string that's pulling the crown of my head upwards and tucking the chin in a little bit. If you want to, you can join together thumb and index finger and allow yourself to feel like you're stacking vertebrae at one another until you're feeling like you're sitting relatively straight, and then allow the feeling of space to come down to your diaphragm with the exhale, down to your belly. And as you're feeling your attention going down to the belly, to the pelvic floor, to the pelvis, to the sit bones, and to the feet, there's a little kind of like a mantra that I taught myself many years ago. And it was one of my yoga teachers that used to say it. I'm steady as a rock. I'm still as a statue. But I'm open like the petals of a lotus flower floating atop the water, taking in the sunlight, resting there in the lightness. And before we open our eyes out, you can just like take one hand, place it on your heart, take the other one, place it on top of the first one. Whatever you came with today, you know, it's you and it's there for a reason. Don't worry about it. Don't chase it away. Breathe in and breathe out, and allow this to be a time for yourself to go into that. We're not gonna talk or analyze or think. Today, we're just gonna work through the breath, through the movement, and through the focus, the attention and the intention that forms a feeling of love and kindness to the body. And through that, you know, things might start to untangle, might start to some thoughts and impressions that been laid on you throughout the day might come and they might go. Don't get attached to them, just enjoy the process and trust that it's your healing process. It's working through you. And you have that power within you to heal, to grow stronger, and to feel fully and truly alive. Take anything that you want to put in there as an intention. Maybe it's to just let go today. And then, with your hands together, form a little namaste, like just there in front of your heart center. And breathe it in and breathe it out, like a long sigh of relief. And we can rub the palms together a little bit, like loose and easy. Through the wrists and the elbows kind of shaking out, the head can shake out a little bit. A long inhale and exhale again. Or you just blow like you can even stick your tongue out. Shake the head around. And then with the hands coming up like over your head, like you're pouring that warm energy over your head, down to the neck. Maybe rub your chins a little bit and the temples, and the fingertips going up to your forehead, and then cup yourself like with the hands over your eyes, and you can let the light in. Open your eyes and then stretch it out. And then lean back a little bit, where the hands can place the fingertips onto the floor. And if your feet are falling asleep when you're sitting cross-legged, if you sit cross-legged, shake them out a little bit. And then, can you dig your heels down, take your knees from side to side a little bit, gentle and easy. Someone might have a little crack. There's my crack. And then stretch them out, and maybe just like slap some life into the legs. Lean forward gently. And when we're gonna go like really open and work with the back and the hips, I like to start like this. Start on the back, but just like getting into the back. We can grab the shins like this and then tuck in a little bit, roll the lower back down to the mat, and eventually vertebrae by vertebrae just coming down like flat all the way down to your shoulders, and the head can rest. Now you can just let go of one leg at a time, stretch it out, and lift your head up, and kind of like just like lift it up to the one that you're holding. Really hug the lumbar spine into the mat, and then coming back, relax, hug the other one again, and stretch out the one that you were holding, and just like stretch it out far. Take one long inhale, and an exhale. You can just like lift your head up and really tuck it in. And then you can take both again, roll all the way down to shoulders, and you can let go your hands to the sides, so just like a little bit outside the mat. Kick your feet up into the air, shake the toes around, Nice to be upside down, turn it around. We might end up in this, we will end up in this position later and go into a little inversion in the end of the class. So we kind of finish off where we start. This is nice way to do it. And now we're just floating in the air. We can lift the hands up, slowly bend the legs, and do an easy version of the happy baby. Happy baby looks kind of weird, but you can just like ignore everything around you. That's what we're good at when we're in our little yoga rectangle where we're like in our safe space. If you can grab your feet already, you can just do it from the outside of the feet, or grab the ankles, grab the thighs, anything that you can hold on to a little bit. Separate the knees from each other and just rock from side to side gently. Feel the weight of the body. And then we let the feet go together and the hands go together. We can just roll the soles of the feet together, palms of the hands together. Just get them into a little contact. Might look even weird there, but that's okay. And then shake them out a little bit. And then hug everything together again. Like hands on top of the shins. Lifting up the head, tucking in, feeling the belly active again. Rocking it slowly and gently up and down the length of the spine. And then when you rock all the way up to your sit bones, you can flip all the way together. Like this. Or take some help from your hands. And then eventually we want to kick the feet back behind us, place the hands down, shoulder width apart. Is anyone super bothered by the sun? No, you look like great. I see you have it's perfect actually. I don't see a sun in anyone's face. That's nice. Only in mine. Very good. Okay. So that because we're doing our yoga practice in the kind of strong sunlight, we'll start in the darkness, as we do sometimes. Rocking back as far as you want to go. You can stay in this position, tabletop position. You can go halfway down. You can go all the way down to your heels and dig yourself down into a baby position. Balasana, child's pose. Lowering the head if you can, all the way down, just for a few moments. I know that some people find this pose very challenging, so did I. When I started my yoga practice, and it's like, it was one of those poses where I couldn't really breathe. I felt like I was double folded everywhere. It was like uncomfortable in every single way. I did grow very fond of it eventually, and now it's a very important position for me. You might have gone through something similar, but wherever you are now, just take a few breaths and just be with what is. What is it like to be you today? Is there a lot of stiffness in the body? Is the body longing for movement? Are you breathing into the mat? Make contact with the breath by hearing it, feeling it, and then make contact with the back that is stretching out a little bit. Shoulder blades, hip flexors, knees and feet. And then travel throughout the shoulders to the arms, all the way out to the hands. And now we can wake up this Balasana, child's pose, stretching out the fingers a little bit, lifting the head up gently, rolling the shoulders out externally, and then grabbing the mat, and then coming up like this, from this pose, coming forward, and then tucking the knees in, back in tabletop position, shaking out a little bit, stretching out one leg at a time. There will be a couple of side planks in this flow if you want to go for that. You know that it's very important to feel that your wrists and hands and elbows and shoulders are ready for that. For this position, you can just like rock from one shoulder to the other, stretching out one and then bending the other, and then just rocking from side to side. Same thing goes for knees and hips and feet. It might be sensitive in some part that you know of. It might be a good way to like rock your hip from side to side to the outer edges, forming a little circle motion, going forward and back. We were once four-legged animals. The first movement of the spine is the lateral movement from side to side. And then much later in evolution comes this curvature that we got. We can focus in on that now, centering the spine, looking in between the hands, drawing the navel in a little bit, slightly rotate the shoulders out just so you can push away a little bit with your hands and feel a steadiness. And then feel the steadiness from your shoulder blades as well. Coming down a little bit. If you push the floor all the way away and then kind of coming down like 50%, and then focus from the tailbone up to the head, lifting up and really open up the eyes and inhale. And then exhale. Now we're going into a cat and cow. Very basic movement through the length of the spine. Inhale up, lifting up. Exhale down, pushing away, curving the spine. Going in your way, in your rhythm, in your pace. A couple more. And then we can just like slowly come up to the fingertips and really push the floor away. One last cat, we can just hold it there. Really dig the head in and then walk the hands back and then stand. If you're sensitive knees, don't worry, we're not going to stay here very long. Just roll the shoulders back. And we do a little camel pose, opening one hand. Take the one that comes natural for you. Inhale. And then exhale and take it back. Really long. You're into take the other one, lifting up, and then roll it back. Last before we stand up, we walk the hands forward again until they are really stretched out. Can you lay your hands down, flat palm, coming forward until we can flex the feet, push away to a plank position, stretch out the legs, and then rock up onto the balls of the feet. Lower your head down and be in a downward facing dog. A downward facing dog is a little bit heavy on the shoulders and neck for some people. Don't worry if you need to extend it a little bit, a little wider stance. If you need to bend it a little bit, that's totally fine. If you ever feel like you want to drop out of it earlier, come back to any of these previous positions at any time. Here we go. Walking from side to side a little bit, bicycling the legs, and then really sinking into it. We can bend both legs a lot, really pushing away with the fingertips, lowering the head and shaking it out a little bit. And then looking forward, coming forward, and then take one or several steps until your hands have 2 feet in between them, and then lowering slowly down, hanging out, bending legs again, grabbing one elbow and then the other. Allow yourself to. It's not going to be a super balancing class or super like anything weird or scary. More like we're going for openness. But this is where we're going for a feeling of steadiness and trust in the feet. We can lower the hands all the way down on a long exhale and really like relax, like we're taking off an old dirty sweater that we don't want to wear anymore. And then slowly, when you find your next inhale, come all the way up, let your hands hang. And when your shoulders are above the hips, you can roll them back. You can find a horizon line, step the feet a little bit forward more if you want to. Step them together and really like roll your shoulders back and feel the steadiness of the center. So, I'm gonna be like a little bit on the camera. I walk a little bit like this, a little bit like that. But you know, all the mats have the same geometry. There's a front. This is usually where we start the Vinyasa Flow. It ends there as well. I might step a little bit here and there just so I'm visible from all angles. If you have confusion about left and right, don't worry. I usually say my right when I say right. So like now, I'm on my right leg, lifting the left. It doesn't matter if you confuse the two. Just start with a good leg, take the other one as number 2, or other way around if you want. Here we go. We're looking forward, standing, feeling the center line of the body. Your feet don't have to be all the way together ever. You can look at your knees, you see them pointing forward, that's good. And if you feel from the base of your big toe to the base of the pinky toe, back to the heel, a steadiness. We can rock from side to side and feel like, okay, helping me find that center line. And through that, we can lift up the kneecaps a little bit, go in contact with the pelvic floor. And we're almost automatically turning on our Ujjayi breathing when we do this. Sounds like that. From there we stand in mountain pose, and we're not robots, we are living, breathing, organic. Right? Yep, we are. Here we go. Stand in mountain pose, and once again feel that steadiness, steady like a rock, still like a statue, open like a flower, taking in the sun, energy from the ground. That's where we want to be in our sun salutation. Let's do a sun salutation A. When you take your arms up, you lift it up, looking up, and you inhale. And when you fold, you exhale, going down. And a halfway lift, we're just lengthening, kind of looking forward with the big open eyes. And then exhale, looking down, stepping into a plank. We can take the knees first, lower down. We can take one breath again. And then, when you find the inhale, roll up the spine. Hug in your elbows, lift up chin, cobra. Tucking in the feet, pushing back to a downward facing dog. These transitions we can always make softly with the knees coming down first. Now we're in a downward facing dog where we traditionally take about 5 breaths. But I don't count breaths, I think it's too military. We just take about as many breaths as about now is a good time to look forward again. Really stretch out the spine, inhale, and then feet coming forward, exhale. Halfway lift, where you just lengthen the spine. And we fold down to this good feeling of trusty feet. Trusty feet pushing the floor down, lifting the arms up, stretching out. And then back to heart center, back to horizon line, back to mountain pose. And if you want to go with me, ready on the next inhale, arms up, do another sun salutation. Keep the flow, go into the rhythm. Halfway forward and lengthen. You're coming down to your version of a plank. Boom. Coming down. If you're into your sun salves, you know exactly where to go. You can go for an up dog, or you can just like lift up a little deeper cobra, a downward facing dog. 12 breaths about. Now in the sun salutation. Now you're stretching out, you're pushing away with the hands, knuckles, fingers are spreading out. Separating a little bit between the shoulder blades, feeling steadiness. And if you have tight shoulders, it's not that easy, right? It might feel hard to like get your head down. Do allow yourself a little bit bend arms, bend legs. Looking forward now, inhale. And then step or float or jump. Or just fly forward. Halfway lift, lengthening, and we're folding again. We're going up, arms up, lifting up, coming back. I usually go through my heart center and then I go back to mountain pose. I can do either way with your hands. Some people do straight arms going forward. When you're ready, lift up the arms again. When you exhale, you fold. If you ever get dizzy from this too much up and down, take a break anytime. Lifting forward. And then coming down, you can go into chaturanga very easily. You can lower your knees first, hug your elbows in, lower shoulder width apart, and then you can push up from there to an up dog. Lifting up and downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, modern style vinyasa, we usually have like hips width apart with the feet and hiding the heels behind the toes. Traditional hatha yoga, they might step the feet closer together. I go modern style, it's easier on the body, usually. Lower the head down, now we're coming into the breath, we're coming into the flow, which is nice. We're gonna kind of build up the pace slowly, gently. We're in the dog again. Looking forward, like the dog wants to go up and run again. And then stepping the feet forward. Nice, slowly, silently, halfway lift. And then exhale and fold down. And then you go all the way up. Arms lifting up. Coming back to the heart center. Very beautiful. It's nice to see some like nice movement. Standing mountain pose. Very good. Okay, so sometimes when I tell people to like jump silently or something, and it's kind of like funny thing, but it's really is about like activating the core and really be very mindful. If you want to do that, it's like you can just like try. If you try and think silent, then you automatically turning on the right muscles. We're going a few more sun salutations. Standing in mountain pose again. Hands can come down to the sides, rolling shoulders back. Remember, if you have your ujjayi breathing, if you can stand like this and look at the horizon, you can maybe just lift up your knees for just one breath. Like this, like, oh, I'm a bit wobbly, but I can do it. Good, okay, good. Don't look around like I did, because that makes you look. Good, one more breath. And then lower the heels down. Good job, everybody. Bend the legs. Maybe touch your pinky toes and then sit up in a chair pose. We're sitting down into it, tailbone going down a little bit, tucking the navel in a little bit. There's a big openness, but there's also that you're hugging like the muscles towards the bones, or the feeling of that anyway. And there's a glow inside the body, and your ujjayi breath gets even stronger, and you can sit down a little bit deeper into the chair pose, Utkatasana. Breathing in, breathing out, your breath and your rhythm. One more in, one more outhale. Inhale up, arm, stretching out, exhale all the way down and fold. Let's keep going with that. Halfway lift and lengthen. Stepping back into a plank and lower straight to chaturanga if you want to, halfway. And then pushing down from flat feet, upward facing dog, belly is active, legs are active. Downward facing dog, we're back. Now you can take your good leg or your right leg, lift it up, inhale. Exhale, step it forward. Make sure you have contact with the back foot, but it doesn't have to touch the heel to the ground. You can just like be in this wobbly, high crescent lunge, correcting everything. Hips and shoulders pointing forward, drop down into it again. Here we go. Now the arms can go up, inhale. And we're standing just like this, very nice. All right, beautiful. Sit down, sink down into it a little bit. If you want to, you can really lift your head up. Arms stretching up, beautiful. And then fold down again. Stepping back, do it again. Chaturanga goes to upward facing dog, pushing away to downward facing dog. Now take your other leg. I take my left, lift up. Step it forward. Boom, there it is. Lifting up. Maybe this was the good side, bad side, the wobbly side. When you're ready, arms go up. Sink down into it. It's great because every time I say that, you sink down. Everyone does it. Sinking down, you're starting to feel the hip flexors working already. Lifting your head up a little bit, chest coming forward. And then you go down. Exhale. We step it back. Take one more time. Same thing. If it's too many, you can always lower the knees down first. Lifting up, up dog. And downward facing dog. Very nice. We're building up some warmth. We're building up some momentum. Take one more inhale. One more exhale and just blow it out to the mouth. Looking forward now. Like we want to come back where we started. When we're ready, stepping forward, exhale. Halfway lift and lengthen. And then exhale. We're back down, bowing down, back into the chair pose. We lift up. We sit down into it. So sitting down into the chair pose, that was easier. We did lift the heels with straight legs. Now let's see if we can do it with slightly bent legs like this. Gently, slowly, softly lifting it up. If it's too much, you can always put them back down. Just looking at one point. Here we go. Lifting heels, finding balance. Inhale. Exhale. Next time you inhale, put the heels down and stand up straight, like really straight, arms go up, looking up. And then exhale and fold. Very nice. Halfway lift and lengthen. We keep it going. Going back the same sequence as before. A plank. Coming down, chaturanga. Pushing up to up dog. If you want to go straight for the leg lift from here, you can just tuck in your left and keep pushing back the right and lift it up. Take it with you forward. We're back in the high crescent lunge. When you're ready, the arms go up. Very nice. Stretching out. It's a little bit more steady this time. We can sink into it. Very nice. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now we reverse it, so we take the opposite side hand down. Go to the thigh first, or down to a block, push it down. When you're ready to push down, maybe just on your fingertips, the other one lifts up. It doesn't have to look good, it doesn't have to be straight. But we're pushing down one side, lifting the other, prepping the body. Might be a little release in the back. Lifting up the eyes, seeing the hand. Arms lifting up. And then it's going down, stepping back. Keep the sequence. Going down, feet are flat, and legs are active, pushing up. Nice. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you want to do the same, from here, push away. Immediately, the left back and lift it up. Step it forward. Here we go. High crescent lunge, which is kind of like a warrior. But it's easy on the hips, a little bit wobbly. Gets you in contact with the core and the hips. Very nice. Here we are, lifting it up. One more inhale, really open. And the exhale takes you to the forward folding twist. Like one hand, go down on the opposite side. You can easily just like, I'm grabbing a block. Or just like, I'm touching the ground. When you're there, push down one hand, lift up the other. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath, just looking up at the hand. And then see the hand coming down to the outside of the foot. And we're stepping back. Third vinyasa, going down. Bit repetitive, lifting up. Inhale up, getting warm. Exhale down. We're in downward facing dog. Take an extra breath here. Inhale and then exhale and just like blow it out. Look forward again. See if you can step or jump slowly. Gently back. Nice. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale and fold. And see if you want to go with me for the heel lifted chair. You can try already from this position. Maybe we can balance up to a chair pose with the heels lifted. If it's hard, you can always put your heels down at any time. Here we are, we're in chair pose, looking forward, lifting the arms up. Here we go, we're breathing. Inhale, and now we exhale, place them down. Inhale, stretch it out. Stay in the gentle back bend now. We're just looking up at the sky like the letter Y. Looking up, pushing the hips forward a little bit. Just enjoying it. And when we exhale the next time, we fold all the way into Uttanasana, a forward fold. You can separate the feet a little bit if you want to. You can grab the blocks if you want to. Or just hang out like this, grabbing the ankles. Folding, hanging out, letting the head go a little bit. And take another few breaths here. So, getting into it. We're going into our warrior triangle sequence, where it might feel nice to have a block in handy. Oh. And here we go. From here, halfway lift, lengthen. And now, stepping back, we find the plank, go a chaturanga, one more time. Going down, pushing feet down flat, lifting up dog. Going back to my right leg now, tucking in the left, pushing back the right, lifting it up. It goes up, it goes forward again. But this time, the back heel drops down immediately and we're in a warrior two stance. We can actually look at the feet. You can grab a block if you want to and have it nearby. I'm keeping like a nice line from my front heel back to the little bit in between the heel and ball of the foot on the back. Lifting up from there, I can kind of like adjust my clothes. Everything feels good. Arms extended, palms facing up. We can lift up and look at the front hand. And then we can kind of like drop down the other towards the leg. Kind of a counter pose to begin with. Lifting it up, stretching out one side. And next time you inhale, go forward. I'm dropping the elbow down now for variation 1 of extended side angle, because the other one might come a little bit deeper later. So I'm just like going easy now. The other hand, lifting up. You can stay vertical like this. You have the chest expanded like this, and pushing down the other shoulder. And then you can stretch it over your head if you want to. Now stay in this pose for maybe 5 more breaths. Let me look at you. Chest is open. Back foot is really pushing down the outside. Good. And you're like really down. There's a strong line from your hand all the way down to the back foot. Last breath. And then we're kind of dropping out of it, lifting it up the same way we came down. Lifting it up. Now we can extend the front leg as well. One hand can wrap around back. And the other hand can lift up. Lift it up. And lean back gently now. Now come forward, extend a triangle. Inhale. Stop where it feels like it's kind of pulling on your hip. And then focus on the foot. Activate the leg a little bit and then drop down. If that means you need to put back a little micro bend in the knee, do so. And then, if you can, lift up the other shoulder, and from back behind you, the hand rises up, straight vertical line. Now maybe you can lower your right hand down a little bit. Stay in this for another 5 breaths. Feeling the chest expand. Nice, very good. Feeling contact with both of your feet. You're still breathing very nicely, very good. It's a triangle. Last one. Let's take that back where it came from. Lifting up, arm going back, putting back the bend in the front leg. Just stop when it's right above the heel, and now lift the other. Lift it up, and lean back. Again. And we see if we can windmill ourselves all the way down to the floor. Lift coming forward. Exhale coming down. Extended side angle number 2. If you want to, if you need to, you can use a block this time. Or just coming down to the mat. And the other one goes up, above. And it stretches out. If you know your extended side angle well, feel free to just like really stretch it out. Not gonna stay very long, just 4 more breaths. Like 4. 3, yes, very good. Maybe 1 more. And then this hand is stretching out, goes all the way down. And touching the floor. If you want to, you can lower down the knee, and for this one, as we're twisting again. Just twisting it out and allow it to kind of drop back the shoulder a little bit. It felt good. Dropping the knee down, you can put the foot down flat. If you want to practice for your king pigeons, is it possible for you to lift up the foot? Does it hurt your knee? If you try to reach for the foot, just like see if you can grab maybe the toes a little bit. Yeah. We can always try, see if that's like, is it too much for me today? Do I get cramp? Anyone? Cramp, anyone? Yeah. Last one. And then drop it down. Very good. All right, we checked it out. Here we go. That was the right side. Let's do the other one. Stepping back. We're in a plank. Lowering down. We're in chaturanga. Feet down flat. Pushing up to updog. Inhale. I'm tucking in my right. Pushing back the left. Lifting it up. Stepping it forward. Stepping into warrior 2 stance by dropping down the back heel so the toes are pointing out sideways. Checking in with the feet. Is this a good stance? Feel like I have contact with both my feet. Lifting it up into the first reverse warrior, where we kind of just like leaning back. We might call it a peaceful warrior sometimes. Just like letting one hand drop down, lifting the other. Getting slightly into like back bend land. Slightly uncomfortable, but not too much. We're still breathing, we're still vinyasing. 1 more breath. First extended side angle coming up, lifting up, inhale. Dropping down, lower, like forearm to the thigh, lifting up the other. We can start here by just like feeling chest is open, reaching up. And when you start to feel like, okay, I want to stretch out deeper, you can go over your head if you want to, follow it with your eyes. Very nice. Good. It's a strong line, it's a strong connection. Nice. Do what works best for your shoulders. reach up the other. And we're in triangle again. You can allow a couple of breaths to just expand the chest. And then coming down towards that foot, pointing down. Does anyone feel wobbly in the front foot? Does it like want to kind of fold sideways? People with high arched feet usually wobble a little bit outwards. And flat feet the other way. Nice, last breath. Let's lift it up. When you inhale, bend the front leg again until knee is right over heel. Drop back down behind your back. Look at the front hand. You can wrap one behind and then look at the other. Once again, leaning back a little bit. These were warriors just hanging out, breathing, and the chest coming forward. And there's like you're looking up and your chin is going up. We're breathing, feeling light and airy. Now, last exhale and then inhale, forward again. See if we can go all the way out. I'm going to the outside of my foot here. You can use block if you want to. And then back to extended side angle number 2. A little bit deeper perhaps, if you really feel like it's stretching good from your hip. Like really shoot that hand in front of you, yes. If it's hurting your neck to look up now, you can look down or look sideways. Nice, 2 more. And the last one. And then we drop it down, coming down. Turn the back knee down, turn the hip down, lower it all the way down if you want to. If it's not nice, keep it like this. And then opposite hand goes up. Drops back a little bit. Same thing here. You can have your palm really open. You can turn it around a little bit, find your sweet spot. And if you want to, try and lift up the back foot. If it hurts your knee, leave it be. Nice. If you wanna just like, it doesn't have to touch, you can just go for it and push the arm back, lift up the toes. 1, 0. And then last breath. We're going down. Very nice. Here we go. When we have both hands down, push it back, Vinyasa time. Going down, Chaturanga. Almost done with this sequence. Arms lifting up, looking up, pushing away the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we've gone through a few standing sequences. We have one more, actually two short ones. And then we're down on the mat again. Blow out some steam, hang out, and then look forward again. Inhale, and then exhale. Step forward. Halfway lift, we're lengthening. Exhale and fold. And then we come all the way up. Arms up, lifting up. And then come back to the heart center. Thank you, everybody. I see that you're I see some little blushy cheeks and I got a little sweat. So nice. Sometimes in Vinyasa classes we do standing poses on one leg, like tree pose, and we do eagle pose and such. Today I was planning that we drop into that one, the half moon, Ardha Chandrasana pose, and also a little warrior 3. And then we kind of come down to the mat. So we can do variations of this. If you're really into yours, and then it's like, oh yeah, I know where I'm going. We also go through goddess pose and some like building up. So you can have like maybe, I like to have like maybe one block on either side, so I can just like, okay, I'm going there, I'm taking the block, or I'm going there, I'm taking the block there. That's a nice way to start. Okay, enough talking. Here we are again. 2 feet together, we're back in mountain pose. Heart can stay like really in front now, and I'm gonna be sideways so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Stand only on your right, just lift up the left. The easiest way you can, imagine, just step it back, like boom, stepping back, or stepping into high crescent lunge. And from that stepping pose, we want to go for a like revolving warrior, we can call it. From here, I'm going like this. So if you're used to it, just go for it. But if you're not, then take one hand, cross it, place it on the outside of the thigh. The other one goes to the hip, and I'm turning my torso, and I still have full focus on both of my feet. And then I'm turning my gaze, I'm looking at something else, and then I'm feeling, okay, I can open up from here. Lifting one arm back behind me, and then I can let go of the leg eventually, and I'm extended. Now when you're there, breathe another 3 nice breaths. 2 and 1. And then, looking at the front hand, the one that's like facing my direction, taking the other hand with it, together, back to the heart. Yeah, have you ever seen a cactus arms? Like open up like this, yeah, nice, like a cactus. And from this, we're dropping into goddess pose. Goddess pose we can also do in many, we can go for the hips and make it super steady. We can also just like slide, turn, rotate the back foot until it rotates, until the heels want to touch, and we can just like sit down into it. Take it step by step. Now turn your gaze, find a new horizon to look at. Sink down your hips. And when you're in position, take 3 steady breaths, like inhale strong. You can even exhale with the mouth if you want to. Just for energy, just for warmth and a glow. Another 2 long ones. Very nice. Last one. We can just like sigh of relief. Place the hands on the hips and then slide one heel back, slide the other heel back, roll the shoulders back, stretch out the legs, have a block in hand if you need it, fold forward halfway first, and then really look forward, lengthen from the tailbone up to the crown of your head, and then fold a little bit deeper. Maybe now one hand can let go, other hand can follow, and we're hanging out in a forward fold. You can really drop your elbows back. You can do a little adjustment from here and there. We can start like this. We will revisit this pose. This is number 1. I'm just feeling trusty and also kind of humble. Like the heart is melting down. I'm also trusting my feet. Very nice. The forward fold. We're gonna kind of reverse our way out of it, coming up from this position really deep, up to the fingertips, just really stretching out on straight arms. Now your front foot that is facing my way, you can lift it up, turn the toes forward while you're bending gently the back leg, sitting down into a little ninja stretch. Maybe you need to lift the heel on the back foot a little bit. And then from there, just walk the hands forward, walk them into a little lizard pose. When both of the hands are on the inside, on the big toe side of the foot, we can stretch out the back leg and we can gently, if you want to and if you can, drop down the leg and drop the foot down flat. Your lizard pose is kind of gentle, kind of a little bit resting now from all the warmth. You can exhale, drop the head down a little bit, and even for a little short moment, come down into a rested position on the elbows, resting the eyes for a few moments, just hanging out. Because we're kind of building up for a standing a little bit open, you can call it a peak pose perhaps, when I use those kind of terms. Or maybe just like a little bit more challenging pose. Find your connection to yourself, soften the breath again, relax. If you want to, you can drop your knee out a little bit, just dropping the hips down. If that hurts your hip, keep the knee in tight instead. Another few, maybe 5 breaths, just like this. Very nice. And the last one, before we gently come out of it. And if you haven't done a lot of half mooning, you can kind of look at me once first if you want to. Coming up like on the hands first, tucking in the back toe, can move the knee a little bit forward so we can easily push away. This is one of the easiest ways to go into the half moon. I take one block with me. I feel like I need it. Wherever I can stretch my arm out like really straight, like this, should be a good way to, when I pop out into it, keep the shoulder relatively straight above the elbow. And I'm kind of like going from there, kneeling stance, really stretch out, to kind of pushing away, and I can be here. Now I can let go of the hand that was on the floor, put it on the hip, and feel the hip stacking up onto the other side of the hip. And now the toes can rotate out. And that's number 2. And before you start to expand it even more, you can just okay, feel some weight on your hand. Good. And feel some weight on your foot that you're standing on. And then open up. Yes, now we're in half moon pose. And we're hanging out here. If that feels good, you can slowly start looking up a little bit more, step by step. 3, no one has fallen over yet. 2, very good. Last breath, 1. Beautiful, guys. Now lower down. Let the feet meet together. That foot that was lying now, it's gonna be your base. Good job, everybody. Look fantastic. All right, hanging out. Uttanasana again. Long exhale. And then when you're ready, we're standing up. Arms go up over the head. They go up, stretching up. Go together to the heart center. Take a moment to recompose yourself. You're doing fantastic. So this should be no problem. When you're done so, put your weight on the other foot. So we're shifting leg, lifting the other. I started on my right, so I'm standing on my left now. And then just stand back. Long step. Here we are. Go for that revolved warrior again. Step by step. We can go like this. We can go like this. We can go halfway. Nice. Either way, we feel a little bit awkward. Let's see if you can, when you're in this position, right? Start to feel okay, I'm rotating my torso, shoulders extending, but also the back leg is still active. Yeah, and the front leg is still bent, yeah, there we are. Okay, can we take another 2? Very nice. 1. And now we're going slowly into goddess pose. Back hand meets the front hand. Take them to the heart. And then open them up. Okay, open your chest up really big. You can really dig in between your shoulder blades and sit down and do it a little bit. Yes, good. Breathing nicely. Goddess pose. It's gonna look like this. We can take our time to get there. So adjust the feet a little bit. Walk heel toe, heel toe. And then when you're ready and you find a new horizon line, steady again, sink the hip down. But as you're sinking the hip down, you find the pelvic floor again. You feel almost like the heels want to grab the floor really hard, so you're activating your hamstrings as well. And then you sit down, feeling the whole body's glowing. Now, breathe really strong. Inhale and really blow out strong. Breath. 1 and 2. Another 1, long. And kind of easy peasy. Now the hands can drop down to the hips. We can check out one heel dropping back like this, the other heel following, stretching out the legs, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale, exhale and fold from the hip halfway first. Stop there, lengthen again. Drop down one hand, take a block if you want to. Other hand follows, back in the forward fold. This time we might hang out with some more confidence. Now the crown of your head can really drop down. You can play with the weight from the heels to the top, very top of the feet. Rock back and forth a little bit and find the center. If you're very experienced, you might want to play with that weight shift, weight transfer from hands to feet and back to hands. And then I kind of accidentally just popped into a little handstand while I was practicing this. I thought, oh, I can actually do that. Sometimes you discover things like that. You can also walk your hands back a little bit deeper now. Let's see if we can find a space where we can stay for a little bit longer. Maybe another 5 long breaths. Very nice. And then we're coming up a little bit again, coming up to the fingertips. And now just so we can do those prep poses before we go into Ardha Chandrasana, we can just Stretch out the front leg, lift up the toes, let them point forward while you're bending the back a little bit. Walking the hands back a little bit. Don't have to go very deep, but if you feel that you can do it easily, you can drop down the hip a little bit. Just hang out here for a few breaths. Stretch out one leg, nice. And then we want to kind of like walk towards me. Like walk the hands in my direction, so we're just like coming up front again. Here we are, coming into lizard pose. Yes, good. Okay, if you want to go down with the knee and the foot down flat, if you feel okay with that, feel free to put anything soft under it, of course. And then if you want to go even deeper, one elbow, other one follows. Even if you don't do that, you can still relax the face, hang your head down, and be in the same feeling of, I'm softening up a little bit. I'm easing out of the tension. We've done a lot of warriors, extended side angles, and we have done some goddess poses, and then we've done some half mooning. So maybe now we're feeling like, yeah, our legs have worked a little bit. Maybe we can stretch them out now. And go for one last standing posture and really make it feel like opening up really big and good. And if there's if there is a lot of processes, I mean, we're working in hips and shoulders, and it brings out stuff. It's okay to just like, I'm not feeling so great. Just allow it to be part of the process and just clean it through, like you're cleaning out some old laundry that needs to be like washed, and then allow it to leave you. Here we're coming up a little bit from this again. Coming up to the hands. We can tuck in the back foot a little bit. We can walk the knee a little bit forward. We can, if you've done a lot of your half moons, if you want to try it without a block. Many people feel like they always have to have a block just because their legs are longer than their arms. But in fact, even if you don't use a block, it's going to look something like this. You're going to be really like pushing your leg up even higher. And maybe that's what you want to do today. You can try that. But you can also go for a steady block, or maybe even two, but I recommend to put them down flat because these are so wobbly. If you want to go for high, you can use two or put them like this, or something like that. See if you want to go for that again. Stretching out far, pushing away a little bit with the back foot. Find this position number 1 first, where you're trusting the hand and the foot. And then, yeah, you're on your way. You know the steps. Very nice. All right. Very nice. So now, here we are. Here we go. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Now you can just like lift up shoulder. There we are. Okay. Got this now. And then, yeah. Yes. Wherever you are, you're in a perfect place. Nice. Okay, last one, 2, very good. 1, go. Feet together. Nice. Thank you guys so much. You look amazing. Here we are. Hang out, Uttanasana. That was the last of the standing positions. Now we can drop down the knees to where our feet were. And you're gonna hate me for this. But I had it like in the, it was in the plan. So no, we don't have to go for it. But we can go for it. We have blocks, we have everything. We can do a little Lolasana. Core is good to have. Lolasana, I can show it to you first, so you know what we're talking about. Lolasana is a good prep for arm balances. Some people overuse their shoulders and their arm strength, and they kind of like just like going into a like this. But if you want to do this and do it well, you have to use your core. So there's no way to cheat. Here we go. It's gonna look something like this. But you don't have to lift your feet all the way. You can if you want to, but You can put the feet down flat, push the hands down. If the arms are too short, you can put them down on the blocks like this. Then look down, lean your weight a little bit forward, and gather some of that strength again. Just one last time. Very nice. And then, as you're looking down, just lifting up the knees. Maybe it's just like 1 centimeter. Maybe it's 2. Maybe it's 3. 2, 1. If you want to go like float the feet a little bit. 2. Nice. That's fun. Good. That was my substitute for side planks. How do you feel? It's like, oh, that's good. Yeah. The good thing is that we're not doing anything dangerous here. We're just like activating the belly by lifting up the legs as much as we can. If we can't do it, then we can't lift up the legs. So it's a good way, rather than like do boat pose. Like if you lean too much and if your belly muscles don't hold for that, you're just like gonna collapse, right? Has it happened to you? I know, yeah. Great. So let's leave all the planking aside for now, and lean into a little king pigeon flow, where we're kind of dropping into from king pigeon, going back into the downward facing dog, and then doing this variation of side plank instead. So if you're into that, we can make sure that we have a little bit space on the side. Maybe it's something soft to put under the hips. I start with my right again. Just sinking down into a little pigeon position. Like this, hips are kind of feeling like they're nice and level. And then, just like we did lizard, we can come down a little bit deeper. We can just rest. And we should, we don't have to worry about that we have to be like perfect weight distribution from left to right. But there shouldn't be a feeling of that we're pressing the knees into a position they don't want to be in right now. That can also go for the back foot, if that is like too hard. If that is the case, we can bolster up and we can even flip upside down. Now you look so comfortable. It's like when there's a lot of stuff going on the inside. From a relatively flowy flow, where we've been like blasting through one post and the other, we're finding stillness. It's soft, it's quiet, and it's cooling down just right. If you want to stay in this nice, cool area, we don't have to prep for king pigeon variations today, but you can also kind of just do a little bit of it. If you're good where you are, you can just like hang out for another minute. If you want to go with me, you can just like come up to your hands again and kind of raise the chest a little bit, come up to the fingertips even. If you find it easy before to lift up the leg like that, we can now go. Last time we went that kind of reversed, but this time we can go the same side. So if I'm having my left foot lifted, I can go now with my left hand, and that can be enough just to like reach for it, maybe almost grabbing it. Some people grab it, and if you grab it, you can slide your hand down as much as you're comfortable with. You kind of know when you had your peak, when it's like, that's my peak today. You can slide it all the way to your elbow. And if you can't slide it all the way to your elbow, you can let the elbow grab the foot instead of the hand, like this. And if that's your jam today, then we can go for the like peaceful warrior style. Again, we can connect the hands together. Yes, good. We can stay in where, yeah. Nice. Just be in it for another 2. Oh. And last one. Yeah. Yeah, you're holding that. Good position. It's balancing, I know. Yeah. And then drop down. Very good. If you drop down like this, we can go for a little side plank with kind of opening up like a half bridge. Some people have downward facing dog that we kind of lifting up, peeing dog, and then we call it wild thing sometimes. We can go from there any way you like. You can go low, you can go high. You can really lift it up first. Lift up as much as you wanna, and then drop the heel back. And if you want to float, you float like this. You can go halfway. You can put the knee down for support anytime, and then lift it up again. This is like just stretching out. Yeah, nice. We're doing a variation of it, at least. Yeah, good. 3. Let's not stay too long. 2, 1, and then back. Rolling the knee back, letting it go down, the other foot follow. Before we go for the left pigeon, we're just stretching out, child's pose again, hanging out deep as you want to go. And then when you're ready, come up like this and just slide the other foot. I started with my right, so this time the left. Make any adjustment that you like. Ultimately, we want to have the back leg with the knee pointing down, in line with the hip, just straight back, and then come down if you want to, but same as before. Some people are really fine here, and it's good. Some people want to come down to elbows, but you can use blocks. Some people put the blocks under the forehead, which is surprisingly comfortable. Nice. Now we just have to stay here for a couple of minutes. Some people enjoy one side and find that the other side is much more challenging. If it is for you today, then enjoy the growth that comes with embracing the uncomfortable as well. Is your face relaxed now? Is the space between your eyebrows relaxed? Around the eyes, around the mouth. From the temples to the jaw. Let's see what's happened if we kind of come up to the hands a little bit again. You can maybe stay low if you want to hang out, if you don't want to go for that crazy king pigeon. But if you want to go for crazy king pigeon, let's just have a look. If you see if your right foot can lift the same way as your left foot did. If you can grab it. And one good way to prep for this, like in order to make that circle with the hands, you need to kind of slide down to your elbow. But start by seeing how much you can pull the foot closer to you, but at the same time doing kind of dancer pose with the other part of your body. Dancing pose being this, like, oh, this is my dancer. Chest is extended, and it is connected. Yes, very nice. And then we're kind of doing the dancer, but we're also doing the pigeon. Pigeon dancer. Very nice. Oh, okay, it's enough. Two more breaths. Yes, like 1, 2. Good, nice. Okay. Coming down. Wild thing. This can be like a side plank or any variation of the side plank. It can be just like this, one way, is to just like dropping out like this. It's good enough. You can do. Walk that foot back behind the other and then open up gently. If it's too much on the shoulders, we can always kind of lower the knee down and drop out of it. If it's okay, we're kind of like pushing the hips forward, really pushing away into kind of like a half plank. And 3, and 2, and 1 last, really long, really push it away. And when we're dropping down like this, we can flip back into, we want to do child's pose again, right? But we can do it upside down. Upside down child's pose can look something like this. And if you want to pop with me into a little bit of an inversion, we can make sure that we have put the blocks to the sides so we can roll down to the neck. Here we are, tucked in again. Really hold it this time. If you rock a little bit upside down, notice what's happening to the back and to the hips during this practice. If we can let go of the feet now, push them up into the air. It's just a basic inversion. We can extend it into a shoulder stand. If you feel comfortable doing that today, you can lay your head down flat, just looking straight up, pushing the elbows down and rocking the hip up a little bit while your hands are grabbing the lower back, and then kind of like wiggle your shoulder blades a little bit together. If you feel like, oh no, it's not a good day for me today, then it's fine to just like, okay, just gently drop out of it. If you feel okay, you can really push up until a straight line, the hips coming up a little bit, looking through that straight line, and really like enjoying the body being upside down for a little bit. You can, if it feels natural for you to go over to halasana, a plow pose. If you feel like that's scary, as some people do, then it's just, don't worry about it. We're not gonna, we can. We can interlace the fingers, we can really walk the feet backwards until they touch the ground, or sometimes they don't touch the ground. You can bend the legs and straighten them out again. Enjoy being still. If you slowly roll out from there, roll down to the lower back. See how it feels now when you're like tucking in again, and then we can just kick out the legs on one side and then the other, and let the hands follow. Before we lay down really flat, we can just go slide the hip from side to side, bending both legs, like we call it a little cat stretch. Just stretching out. And then make sure you find a feeling of centeredness on the mat, that you feel like you're laying down as steadily and as open as you did the sitting pose in the beginning and the standing pose in our standing practice. Now lying down like we are floating on top of that little lotus flower. We are full of energy, full of life. There is circulation in the system. There is a lot of breath that has taken us places. Most people, I would say, myself included, don't breathe properly throughout the day, and we realize that when we start breathing like this consciously and we start to move with the breath, how the breath is conditioning your consciousness and your well-being, and how we can take back the health by taking back the breath. We can own our own peace inside by owning the breath. Or at the very least, we can be friends with it. We can be aware of that it works like that we're not always in full control of it. But it is there is a connection. There are ways to work through the challenges that we all meet in life. That there are ways to find happiness and health again. That we can find peace also, and understanding and acceptance for the things that we cannot change, that we should not change. And just enjoy being on that journey, the beautiful dance of the universe that is the life, the energy, the love. Allow yourself to feel like you're a true manifestation of all those things, the peace, the steadiness, the softness and the lightness, without moving a single muscle. From here, now that we're calm and quiet, the sun has come down over the horizon. There's a beautiful sunset, colored clouds, and the air is cool and nice around you. You can breathe in that cool, nice air. Notice the air around your skin. Notice little muscles waking up in the face and fingers and toes. Notice the steady air around the steady ground. It's warmer, it's heavier, and it's there, embracing the body. Notice the soft and warm and flowy and full of life, full of circulation inside your body, from your torso, full of life flowing out through the arms and legs. And start moving the arms and legs. We can allow a little dropping down, yawn, and then stretching out everything back, and then kind of tucking it in again into that little ball again. Eventually, when we find yourselves into a seated position, very softly, with as little effort as possible, tucking into that little ball again, rocking up and down a little bit. Just notice if there's a feeling of difference when you work through the body, rocking up and down and then all the way up, and I always rock myself up to a seated position again. Rolling back the shoulders and shaking out the head. And before we finish off, let's go back to where we started. Placing one hand on the chest, another one follows. There's been like a lot of things maybe going on in your mind, but maybe things that we just need to work through. If you've had a chance to still your mind, that's very, very good. And if it's been challenging, then it's even better. Thank you for coming, and allow yourself to place your hands in front of the heart and feel thankful for anything that you feel thankful for. And do feel thankful for yourself. Allow your body to fill up with gratitude. A long inhale and long exhale. And then we can rub the palms together again. Just breathe in and breathe out. Shake out the head. See how it feels when you lift your arms up. Let them rain down through the chins, the temples, and cup them gently over your eyes and open them up. Thank you very much, everybody. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's good to see you, so many of you. And I say, hi. And hope you have a good continued evening. Still a nice little light outside. And yeah, I'm going to be here next Wednesday as well. Same time. And have a good weekend. Stay safe. Stay peaceful.